This is Susan Wilbanks with blendedinsight.com. I am a holistic and integrative healing arts practitioner, an intuitive, and an energy healer. In this podcast, I share tips, tools, and suggestions that have helped me along my path in hopes of inspiring and helping you along yours. Let's get started with today's podcast topic. Hello, bright soul. Thank you so much for joining me on another podcast. And it is a beautiful fall day. I love all of the colors in the fall here in Colorado as all the leaves are turning. It's absolutely gorgeous. On another note, if my tree does not stop, I have been getting rid of leaves like you wouldn't believe. Like as soon as I get them all cleaned up, I look outside and it's like the trees are laughing at me. My yard is full of leaves again, but I mean, I'm being playful about it. It's just part of it. And I don't mind cleaning up after nature because honestly, it's truly a blessing and I love where I live. And I'm wearing dresses as long as possible. During the day, you can still wear fall dresses. It's just in the mornings and in the evenings, it's freezing cold. So I'm not a winter gal. You guys know that. I'm not into winter. I know it's important. Seasons change. I'm just a warm weather person. I like dresses and shorts and sunshine, and I don't particularly care for snow, but we're going into that season. I'm going to stay positive and I'll do my best to not say anything about it. For those of you who have been with me a while, you know, I struggle in the winter, especially when the snow comes because it's so messy. Yeah, and I know the land needs the moisture. I know that. So I understand there's a plan. I got it. It's just that I'm that person that finds black ice and all this other stuff, although it's gotten better over the years. So I just try to be really positive and that's what I'm going to do. So that's all I'm going to say about that. And so I wanted to go into the topic for today. And first of all, before I even get started with that, I want to thank you all for your donations. I really appreciate it and know that I always bless that to be returned to you many times, spiritually, materially, and financially. And I also want to thank you for your kind feedback, for engaging, for subscribing to my newsletter, which I have not sent out anything in a very long time, but I still appreciate you providing your email address and desiring to be connected. That's a big deal to me. I don't take that for granted. For all of your kind comments, your reviews, I notice it. I so appreciate it. And kind people are my people. So I want to thank you for that. And then I want to talk about your body being a messenger. And those of us who have been in the mind-body awareness realm for any amount of time, you know that oftentimes when something happens in the body, it's a message that you've missed or you've not acted upon from your higher self, from the soul. And I had a recent experience with this that I'm going to share. So I had shared in a previous podcast that I had signed up to take belly dance classes. Now, this is something that I was just drawn to do. I know you store a lot of trauma in your hips. I think the micro movements are probably a great ab exercise. And it just looked fun. You know, I lived in Turkey for a couple of years. There was belly dancers. And it just looked like something fun to try. And so it's something that I've been wanting to try. And I was unable to take the classes before because I had a teenager who I had to go to all our activities and all those types of things. And so an opportunity arose where there is a place that was offering classes close to me. And this is a person who used to dance in Las Vegas. And I think she's been doing it for 30 or 40 years. And so I thought, I'm going to take these classes. Now, the timing of the classes was not ideal for me because they are late on a Friday evening and I'm a morning person. And I work out 6 days a week already. So it isn't like I need the exercise. I was genuinely curious about the class and the movements. And so the timing was a little off, but I signed up and I made a commitment and I'm going to go to the classes. So when I was going to the classes, and you know, they're intense, and I know on a couple of the classes, my hips would burn because I already worked out my hips because I work out 6 days a week. So it's like my hips would be burning and my abs would be burning for a day even after the class. And I would be a little sore, but I was getting the movements down actually. And it became fun when we were doing the choreography because I was picking it up. And a lot of the people in the class that were attending with me, it was all women in the class, maybe 25 women, but most of them were married and that was their one time to get out of the house. That was their form of exercise and didn't really do exercise outside of the class. And so for them, this was like their night out. But for me, it's at the end of my work week and I was dreading it. I noticed that I was dreading the classes. I was dreading it not because I don't like the class, but because my situation is different. I've already worked out 6 days a week. It's Friday. It's on a Friday after all week of working and going to the gym and taking clients, and I'm tired at that time. And so if it was earlier in the week or earlier in the day, then I think, or earlier in the evening, I think I would be more excited about it. But I would just dread it. And I'd be waiting around on Fridays like, whoa, I got to go to belly dance class and I'm tired. And I'd be in the class looking at my watch, looking at the clock in the classroom, like, when's this thing going to be over? But I was getting it down. And again, when we were doing the choreography, it was fun. So I'm like, I'm just going to stick with this. I just need to get over this hump. So it started to get toward the end of the class semester. And I was thinking, I'm so glad for these classes to be over. I kind of don't want to do this anymore. Then some of my classmates, 3 or 4 of my classmates was like, oh, Susan, did you sign up for the next session? And I said, what next session? I wasn't aware. Well, they were like, well, it's actually a 12-week class. And in the next section, we're going to learn all these other things. And we want you to take the class with us and sign up before. They were telling me sign up before it gets full. So they were kind of putting pressure on me. Like, did you sign up? Did you sign up? And I'm like, oh, shoot. Okay, fine. I'll go sign up. But I really didn't want to sign up. I didn't really want to do the next 6 weeks. And I had mentioned to the instructor, it'd be really nice if you could offer this at a different time. And she's like, you know what? I would want to, but there's children's classes before and they have the room already. So this is the only time this particular studio will allow us to do these classes. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I went and signed up for the second session. And I'm like, okay, this whole time I'm thinking, no, just push yourself through it. Like, you can do it. And this is my pattern. I push myself. This has been my pattern for my entire existence. I will just continue to drive myself, that inner drill sergeant that I've talked about before, where I will just keep pushing and pushing. And over the years, I've gotten a lot better with saying, wait a minute, why am I doing this? What is it costing me? And what am I gaining? And if I'm not gaining as much as it's costing me, why am I doing it? And because it's my discipline, the discipline overrides any mental chatter that I might have and my commitment. I'm a person of my word. So if I made a commitment, I'm committed, I'm doing it. So here's what's funny about that. So I was having this internal dread, and then I was looking at how far the classes were going to go into the holiday season, and I think they end right before Thanksgiving. And I thought, so you mean to tell me that I am going to be out going to a belly dance class when it's pitch black outside because it's going to be dark, and I'm going to be in there after I've already worked out and my body is tired, pushing myself to do these micro movements that absolutely destroy my abs and my hips after I've already destroyed them, and then I go to Orange Theory on Saturday mornings, usually, just depends, I vary. And so here's what happened. The soul is talking to me. My soul's been talking to me about this belly dance class since the first class, honestly. Because the first class was like, she was a little intense, and I think she did it on purpose, the instructor, because she was wanting to weed out the people that weren't serious about it. And then the second class was a lot lighter and funner. So I'm like, okay, so I'm trying to talk myself into continuing this thing. And then I felt the relief of the class coming to an end. And then I get talked into signing up for another session, which I didn't want to do. So the classes are on a Friday. So Wednesday, I go to the gym and I notice that my right knee is kind of tight when I leave. And I thought, that's really interesting. And by the way, I have like a bone spur on the top of my foot, on my right foot. That's from years ago. It's from years ago. I dropped something on my foot, apparently didn't know about it, which I also thought was really interesting. I'm like, I wonder what that's about. So for me, as an energy healer and as a person that believes in mind-body connection, and I'm not saying there's 100% always something, but there's always a message there. And the body is the last place it lands. So when you don't get the message all the other ways, when you're ignoring it, then the body talks to you because your body is the last, it's the physicality of it. So it comes in the energetic first. The messages are coming, you don't get it, then it comes into your concrete form, your body. So I'm like, dude, what is up with my right side? I'm telling myself this, like, what's going on with you? So the right knee was tight. So I came home, I stretched it, and I fascia blasted it because that usually will help it to get better. And it got worse, actually. And I'm like, what did I do? And then it dawned on me. I had signed up for that darn belly dance class the night before, the second session. And my soul was like, we're not going to do that. We don't want to do it. You're not listening. We made it through the first 6 weeks, and then you're going to sign up for another 6 weeks? We don't want to do it. So guess what? You're not going to do anything, and we're going to shut this thing down. And to the point where I couldn't go to the last class where we were supposed to do 1 hour of choreography for the whole class. And I was kind of looking forward to it. I was kind of dreading it because I'm like, this is going to be tiring. You know, like I said, my classmates, they're rested. This is like their exercise, their night out. You know, this is what they share. Oh, you know, I sit all day. I don't do anything. This is my exercise for the week. And I'm thinking to myself, I have absolutely PR'd this week on my weights. I have pushed myself. I went to Orange Theory. I'm kind of tired. Do I want to do an hour of choreography with belly dance on top of all that and then wake up the next morning and go to Orange Theory? So I ended up going to the acupuncturist, and he was like, yeah, your lower body is pretty inflamed on the right side. And the right side equals your present, current day, and the left side is your past. So usually, and it's going to be different for everyone, but in general, the right side is, and if it's on your knees, legs, feet, whatever, it's something you're not wanting to step into or a move that you're not wanting to do. There's something current day about stepping forward that's bothering you. And I had to really sit and tune in and say, what is this about? And so I was actually going to still try to go to belly dance class because I made a commitment. And so I went to the acupuncturist and I got some herbs, and he was looking at it and he's like, yeah, I don't know what you did, but you probably, and I just tweaked it. And I've never, ever tweaked my knee, ever. This has never happened to me. Even when I feel like I've pushed or I might have like the oncoming onset of an injury, I can still work out and all of that. I just have to dial back a little bit. And so it was really interesting because I could not go to belly dance class that Friday night. And I emailed the instructor and let her know, I'm sorry, I can't make it. I tweaked my knee. And then she's like, oh, sorry. But you know what? After I said I couldn't go, the biggest relief came over me. And then it just dawned on me like, oh my gosh, my body doesn't want to do belly dancing. My soul doesn't want to do it. So why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I made a commitment, and I let some strangers that I just went to a class with and had fun learning belly dance with talk me into doing another 6 weeks when I'm not really enjoying it that much. And the other thing that I didn't like was I don't want my Friday night taken by belly dance every single week. What if I want to meet friends on a Friday night? You know, or what if I'm just exhausted and I want to chill and take a bath and do a spa day? I can't do any of that because now every Friday, and again, it was like later in the evening, so it's kind of wedged in the evening. What if I want to go out of town? I can't do it. So I said all that to say, using myself as an example, I mean, I can also get stubborn about things. And I knew my body didn't want to do that. I knew my soul didn't want to do it. But it's just a habit that I'm being made aware of, that I really got to evaluate what is this gaining and what's it costing me. And it was costing me more than what it was gaining for me. And I know the moves now, and I can still practice them. And these classes are ongoing. It's not like it was something that I could just do now during this time. It's something I could pick up later if I wanted to. And I had to rest over the weekend. I couldn't even go to Orange Theory on Saturday because my knee was so annoyed. And of course, I'm doing energy healing on it, which is helping tremendously. And then my soul was like, stop trying to hurry it up with your energy healing. Quit. Because I was doing so many healings on my knee. But it wasn't from a position of allowing. It was from a position of get better so I can get back to doing the things that I want to do. And so I had to really get into a space of allowing, like, okay, well, this just is what it is. My body is simply mirroring something that my soul has been telling me that I didn't listen to. So listen to it. And so I let my body rest. I did healings on it. I actually went to the studio, sent an email and said, I need to cancel those next 6 weeks. I can't make it. I hurt my knee and I can't make it. And they were great. They canceled it, refunded the money, and I instantly felt better. Like, whew, I don't have that burden anymore. I do not have to go to these classes anymore. And so then I waited, I guess it had been about a week. I went back to the gym and I lifted legs. I did legs again. And then my knee's not re-injured, but it's just a little bit tight. Like, why did you do that? We weren't ready. And so I'm like, okay, well, I won't be going to Orange Theory. And so then I was tuning into my body. Like, what's up with this? Like, what's up with the knee? What is it? And my soul is like, can we just have a break? Can we just have a break? Because the Orange Theory workouts, those of you that go to Orange Theory, they've been crazy because they're preparing us for Hell Week. And first it was the dry try. And now they're doing all this weird template switcheroo stuff. Hell Week is something that they call, it's a competition that they do for a week. So they basically amp up the workouts and make them crazy, intense, and tough for the week of Halloween. And you can sign up to take 4 classes within a 7-day period. And if you do those 4 classes, they'll give you a t-shirt. And so I don't want to do that. I've done it in previous years. I've done it twice. And I'm in a different place right now. I'm more of in a place of focusing on lifting weights and honoring my body and going at my own pace and not so much at a group pace. I've done a lot better with that with the Orange Theory. I don't push myself to the brink like I used to. I still push myself, but I'm listening to myself. And so I used that whole example just to show you that pay attention to your aches and your pains and areas that you get fatigued, or if there's an injury. Your body is the last place it goes. It is the last place. There's other indicators going on before, and we get busy and we miss it. Even me, I miss it, or I override it, or I'm not paying attention to it. And the whispers come, and when you don't hear the whispers, it gets louder. And there isn't anything to feel bad about. I'm actually really grateful. I spent time over the weekend really just settling into gratitude for my body functioning before the injury and how good it feels to be pain-free and to be mobile. That's a gift. It's a blessing. And I had to spend a lot of time with myself just saying, this is going to be okay. This is something that needed to happen. I got the message now. Thank you. I'm thanking my body for giving me the opportunity to get the message and make a course correction. And I did that. I canceled the classes. And now I just need to ease back into my routine while honoring my body. And I'm going to do it. I will do it. And what I wanted to say is those of us who are really physical, because for me, I've got to keep my body strong and I need that outlet because I am pulling down a lot of energy through my energy healing practices. And your physical body, when you work your physical body, you expand your health rates. There's also an energetic component to it. And in order for me to do the spiritual work that I'm doing, my physical body needs to be strong. So this is important for me. And I'm really grateful for it. I'm really grateful. So the other thing I wanted to say is your body may be giving you a message that is different from what a book might say. And I know Louise Hay has a book, Heal Your Body, that goes through different ailments. And I tell people, if you're going to look at that information, because even with the right side, the left side, the esoteric knowledge that I've learned over the years, everything is specific to you. There's no one size fits all. So this is just kind of a general idea, I guess. It may be different for you. But the way that you really tune into it for yourself is to just go into a quiet space and ask your body. It's really that simple. Sit quietly and tune in. What is the message here? What do I need to know? How can I support you? What is this about? You can ask your body those questions and get those answers for yourself. And that's what I did. And I think it's really important. And just honor where you're at. I mean, we're on this journey together. We're learning, we're growing, we're evolving. We're going to make mistakes, but the mistakes, are they really mistakes? They're learning opportunities. And as long as you get the message, you course correct, and you sit in gratitude for the ability to get the message, and you keep it moving, it's okay. And it's all going to be okay. So we're going to go into a healing. In this healing, you can drop into your body to see if there's a message your soul is trying to give you through your body. But ideally, you want to get that message before it hits your body. And that's the beauty of energy healing, because when I'm doing an energy healing on someone, I clear that stuff out before it hits the body. The body is the last place to go. So what's interesting is I was between healings, because I get healings every month and a half. I was between healings. So, and for me, my lessons are pretty swift because of the work I'm doing. I'm just in a different space because, the expectation is higher for me because I am serving other people and I'm doing this work publicly. It's a little bit different for me, but I really feel like if I had got a healing before that knee thing, I feel like it would have came out then. But again, if I didn't have that happen, I wouldn't be sharing this right now on this platform to help someone else. So everything always works out for the divine good, for the divine purpose, for the divine plan. We're all just a part of it if we choose to be. We're a part of it anyway, but I'm consciously choosing to share and be a part of it. So let's go into a healing. And in this healing, I'm going to be running the energy. You just drop in and ask your body if there is a message. Ask your soul if there is a message that's coming through your body if you're not experiencing anything in your body. Because again, we want to catch it before it hits the body. But if it's already in your body, no worries. Happens to me, happens to all of us. Let's just see if we can get the message. So I'm going to turn the energy healing on. And you can just uncross your arms and legs, go into your breathing. Okay, and so it is. You can start coming back into your body. Did you get a message? I hope you did. If you didn't, that's okay. You can go back and replay the healing, or you can just be open to receive that information as your day goes on. It can come in at any time. But I think the point is to be aware of it, to have a sense of awareness. And one of the things about a meditation practice is you create space for your soul to speak. If you're constantly frustrating your life with chaos and activity, your soul doesn't have a chance to give you a message. It still can, but it's a little more difficult to hear. If your mind is just chattering away and it's just constantly going, sometimes it's hard to recognize that, which is the beauty of just sitting in stillness a little bit and giving your soul an opportunity to give you a message. it comes through your intuition. You can come through all different ways. So that's really all I wanted to share today. And I want to wish you a beautiful week. Take care. Bye-bye.